I don't know.
You're amazing, and this is going to give you all of the basics today. You're going to be able to really feel confident, I promise. And I can say you can get those 4 sales definitely 100% out of Instagram.
So being clear, that's my 10-week package. So
Perfect.
just to make sure, putting it out there.
Yeah. Did you hear?
Yeah. 4 clients.
I'm clear. Amazing.
By the end of the year.
Amazing. Awesome. Okay, Michelle, what's your current sales? What's your what's your goal?
Sales out of Instagram is 0.
Mm-hmm.
My benchmark is 3 clients on my 12-week program.
Amazing. Doable. Completely doable. The steps are going to give you the steps today. Joe, current sales goal. Oh, and you're on mute. Hang on.
Sorry, I have 0 sales on Instagram. In fact, I'm not very good on Instagram. Not that I'd say I'm particularly good on Facebook, but okay. And I'd like to have 3 clients by the end of the year. Perfect. On my one-to-one.
So doable, so doable. Holding that for you. Anna.
So 0 sales on Instagram at the moment, just like everybody else so far. Target is 3 new clients via Instagram on the 6-month program.
Amazing. Again, perfectly doable. Setting the intention. I'm holding it for you. I'm going to give you the steps. Amazing. Maria.
So I think I've made maybe $2,500 on Instagram in the last 6 months. Mm-hmm. My goal is probably, similar to the other ladies, like 3 one-on-one clients would be ideal.
Amazing. So doable. Can I ask, when it worked, what did you do?
I think really connecting with people and chatting to people and then inviting them to workshops. The sale itself, I'm not making sales in Instagram. I'm using Instagram to invite people to workshops and then make sales.
Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Are you still continuing to do those workshops?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Amazing. Okay. Again, doable. So I think we've gone through. Who have I missed? I've definitely missed someone. Avril, I can't see you. Naomi. Oh, we've gone back. Hang on. We've skipped through. Avril.
Yeah. I have no sales, which is not surprising considering I couldn't even get my Zoom logged in. So, yeah, I have none on Instagram. And do you know, I actually don't really have a goal. I mean, it's not that I don't have a goal, I do, but not specific to Instagram. But I guess 3 now, you know, when I think about it, 3 people signing up for my 3-month program would be brilliant. Yeah.
Amazing. Call it in. It's completely possible. And I am going to give you the steps.
Cool.
Amazing. Andrea.
Good morning, everyone. I am doing occasionally some sales. It's more a lucky thing when it's a lucky day. So I run workshops and I currently just advertise them through Facebook, and that's how they sell. So my aim is to run 2 workshops per week and to have Instagram help me as an engine.
Yeah, it is that. Yeah, I would say that it's harder sometimes to get that local targeting through Instagram, but there is a way to do it. So it's just making that the intention, that because your workshops, mind you, yours are online, aren't they?
Well, that is, yeah, they've been hands-on so far, but they may have to go online, which is then opening it up to more opportunity. Like overseas people want to do my kimchi workshop, so it's like, okay,
yeah.
Right.
And that is the opportunity. That's the pivot. You can actually grow bigger and focus wider, and yeah, totally, by taking what you do face to face online. But we can also get that local targeting, and I'm not going to be talking into that today. I do feel like it's on a past training somewhere. It definitely is on a past training somewhere that I could connect you to.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Claire.
Naomi. So we want to know your benchmark, and you're mute. You're off now. Cool.
I'm off mute. I'm on 0. I'm looking for 2 to 4 one-on-one clients, and I'm also looking to just throw an extra one in there, put a group course in and fill it.
Perfect. Amazing. So have I gone through everybody now? So I love that everybody's like, yeah, don't you love how the universe does that? Like, you're all in the same boat. You're all calling in the same, like, similar goals. It's that, and I think a lot of you on here are also coaches as well, which is also, I just love how the universe does that. It brings you into the right space at the right time and gives you the breadcrumbs. We've got to pick up those breadcrumbs. We've got to listen to those signs. We've got to do one thing to make those breadcrumbs work for you right now, and that is, you've got to start treating Instagram like a business, like an actual important, significant part of your business. You've got to stop treating Instagram like a hobby. You've got to stop treating any part of your business that you're treating like a hobby and start treating it like a business. Like if you come out of one thing with one thing from this workshop today, I want it to be that. It's like, how do I start using Instagram as a business tool? How do I start treating it like a business? How do I start to feel confident in that way? Because that is the real reason that you aren't making money on Instagram. It's simply that. So I'm going to give you the business talk today around Instagram, the business tools. And between now and the middle of December, this is where most people start to switch off in terms of how they use Instagram like a business. They're tired. They've been going all year. They think that everybody's just there kind of like switching off as well, but it's actually the opposite is true. There's something like 75% more activity on Instagram over these next 4 weeks. And people buy off Instagram out of all of the platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. Instagram is the place that people actually buy from. Instagram's sales markers go up during this time. So if you're going to be anywhere over the next 4 weeks, Instagram is where you have to be. And you have to be there in the right way. So step one, we need to completely transform how you're using Instagram. And does anybody follow Russell Brunson, who does the ClickFunnels? He actually does like this amazing description of calling people in social media consumers. So what we are is consuming content. We're just like, oh, what's my friend doing? Oh, what's the conversation over there about the vaccines? Oh, what's oh, that's nice. We're just consuming. We're consuming social media instead of producing social media. Now, he talks about producing social media as being on there and spending your time producing. I've got a little bit of a different take. I think that consuming is part of producing, because when you consume with a different view, when you start consuming content with a view to understanding what is working about this content and how could it work for me, you suddenly start becoming a producer, right? So a big chunk of my week now is consuming content on Instagram. I will sit and I will spend an hour watching reels, saving the reel, and I am scrutinizing it. Why is this worked for this person? How can I mimic this? How can I take my own content, my own niche through what has worked about this? And also the second thing is I'm consuming my own insights. I'm going into my insights regularly and I'm saying, okay, what is working for me? Because often something will be working, we don't even notice, and then we go away and we do something completely different. And we start to see this roller coaster of activity, roller coaster of followers. Whose followers go up and down? It's because you'll gain a bunch of followers through a piece of content that works for you, and then you'll go and do something completely different. And then they come back and they're like, huh? I didn't follow her for this. This stuff isn't interesting to me. Like, what? I'm just going to unfollow her again. So if you're not getting a consistent rise in followers, then there's something about your content that isn't consistent. So what is working for you? Number 3, how do you be a producer? You've got to track stuff. You got to take that business mind and you got to have a function for tracking. So I want to show you the function that I use. It's called FG Funnels, and this is my actual coaching pipeline from Instagram this week. I did notice that I got a weird extra line in this that's not meant to be there. But I've been unwell this week. So I've had vertigo. I was taken into hospital on Monday. I've not wanted to look at the laptop and I'm not wanting to look at the computer. It's a good job I couldn't look at the laptop anyway, because it's got a ball bearing through the screen. My daughter and the universe must be in co-creation. But look at this. 13 connection messages sent. 10 follow-up messages sent. 5 of those people took a freebie. 5 of those people I invited to a breakthrough call. 2 of them I had to follow up. 1 of them booked a call and it's scheduled, and that's scheduled for Monday. Right? So my numbers are like this all of the time, but you know what it's like to try and see this sort of progress through your Instagram Messenger. It's just hectic. You can't remember who you've messaged. You've got messages falling through the loop, like through cracks. There's people you don't follow up with. There's leads to a warm that you just leave. You know, like, it's frustrating. So that's another question for you. How are you tracking? What is your process? What is your system to start treating Instagram like a business? So you've got 3 things there. Number 1, what is working for other people? And how can you go in with that mind? How can you look at Instagram in a whole different way? Number 2, what's working for you? How can you go where your energy flows? How can you do more of what's working? Is checking your insights part of your daily method of operation? And number 3, how can you use something, not saying this, but something to track and make this way easier for you? I'll just stop the share. Oh, maybe I have stopped the share. Could you see that screen before?
Yep, we can see it.
Stop the share. I'm terrible on Zoom. Oh, Avril's jumped out. So I want you to write down these questions, because these are questions, these are also some powerful questions that I want you to answer as we go through this training today. And the first one is, how can I build trust and relevancy with my content, as well as reconnect with my existing followers? I told you this training is about making money on Instagram with a small following and without using Reels. Because Reels are great, but Reels are also not for everyone. And Reels also take time. And when you're a mum, Reels are really bloody hard, because you've got children hanging off every orifice of your body all of the time, and you can't hide them anywhere. So we want to know how to make money on Instagram in the next 4 weeks. And you guys you've all set your numbers, 3 clients, 4 clients. There's a sales number attached to that. How are you going to do that with a small following and without using Reels necessarily? Number 1 is, how can my content build trust and relevancy? And how can I reconnect with those existing followers? How can I show them that I'm still here? So don't answer the question yet, but write the question down, so that as your answers come through to you during the training, you're going to be able to answer that question. So remembering as well, like this time of year, people are on the next 4 weeks, they're on Instagram more. How are you going to capitalize on that? So number 2, how can I make my content more shareable? Because if my content is shareable, it's going to get more views and you're going to get more followers. So that's your second question. I want you to answer that as we go through the training. As the answers come up for you, how can I make my content more shareable? So actually, Instagram thrives off content that's less personal, because people won't share personal posts. They won't share you with their friends necessarily, unless you're somebody of influence, right? So how can you make your content more shareable? Question number 3, how can you get mentoring? How can you put yourself in a place where over the next 4 weeks, you're going to have support to hit these goals? Because if you're going to get 4 clients, then it's going to pay you back. How can you put yourself in the best position to absolutely maximize this amazing time of year? Just remember, people are just like you. They're sitting there at the moment saying, hang on a minute, fuck. It's the end of the year again. How the hell did that happen? And how am I in the same place as I was in January? How can I not go through another year winding up in the same place as the year before? I can't physically do it. You know that feeling where you just like, I just can't. There's a bunch of people out there right now saying, I can't. I just can't. I need to fix this thing, right? And they're looking for the light. They're looking for the solution. They're looking for the answers, and the answers are you guys. So how can you put yourself in the best position to be that light for them? Mentoring also opens up creativity like nothing else. When you're being mentored, when you're having your paradigm widened, when you're having the walls of those paradigms knocked down and you're having those enlightenments, you're like, ta-da! Content gold. I sat in a session with a client the other day, and like she just had aha moment after aha moment after aha moment. We built like 5 posts out of these aha moments that she was having. So that's the other thing, like you're doing these sorts of things, having mentoring, having guidance. 1, it creates content because it inspires content. 2, take a snapshot right now and share this as content. People are interested in you. People are interested in what you're doing in your life, how you are, where you're at, how you're doing what you do. They're asking the questions, they're curious. How does she do that? I can see what she's got. How did she get it? So take a screenshot, take a picture on your phone, put it in your stories, tag everybody, reach into the people on this session's audiences, tag it, share it, tag me. It's content. It's curiosity. And also you're going to have aha moments out of this mentoring that creates content for you. So question number 4, have another slurp of my drink. How can you create as much content as possible in the next 4 weeks? Because it's like, if you think of like a race, so it might be that, you know, what's a good example? It's like competition, right? It's like, does my content, if I'm posting 3-4 times a day on Instagram, which by the way is what Instagram's looking for you to do, the algorithm wants that level of posting. That's what's going to win. I can't even get there most days, but when I do, my followers go to the roof, my conversations go up through the roof. It works, right? It's the consistency and the frequency of your posting. And it's multiple chances of winning. So yes, in some ways your content will kind of compete against the last bit of content that you did. But number 1, you're creating multiple chances to have engagement. So that's better. Number 2, you're not marketing to a standing army. You're not sitting to the same bunch of people who are like, oh my gosh, Tasha just like posted like 2 hours ago. Why is she posting again? They're not saying that. They're like, wow, that's really interesting. Or wow, that's really valuable. Oh, wow, they don't even twig that you posted 2 hours ago, right? So we don't want to overthink this too much. We want to go with what the algorithm is supporting, and that's frequency of content. So I'm going to give you some really good tips. So that is your 4th question. How do I create as much content as possible in the next 4 weeks? How do I hit those 3-4 posts a day? How do I make this possible for myself? How do I increase my chances to win? How do I increase my chances to engage with my audience? So getting into the training, like that's my first question. Who is your audience? Are you all sure of your niche? Because Instagram is very specific about this. It's like I say, if you are and I did this the other day, so use me as a bad example. I'm a social media coach generally. I mean, I'm the personal story coach, leveraging personal story online. Posted this post about my health and I lost a bunch of followers, or I gained a bunch of followers and then I lost a bunch of followers because I think I picked up like a whole new audience on talking about my health struggle with the picture that was very much about disease. Yes, it's part of my wider brand. Yes, I'm very holistic. Yes, my clients know that we do coach on that stuff, but Instagram's looking for that one thing. My followers on Instagram are looking for that one thing. So it tapped into this whole new audience. They followed me. They were like, oh, awesome. And then like they came back and probably saw my content post and were like, what? Unfollow, right? So do you have your niche? Because you've got to be really specific, like really specific. You've got to pick one subject and you've got to stick to it. So be really clear about the one subject which is part of your wider brand. If you work with me, we work on your brand pillars. We identify who you are as a brand, what that looks like. But with Instagram, we pick one thing. We pick the one thing that you want to focus on, the one problem that you want to solve. So are you all clear of your niche? The second thing is your profile. So one of the things I'm going to offer you at the end of the training is the chance to have a profile audit, like a profile review. I'm going to look at your content. I'm going to make you some suggestions. I'm going to help you with your bio. Because when people jump on your profile, it's like, number one, they kind of like take a snapshot. You've got 1.8 seconds to get their attention and for them to have that little click in their brain of, yep, this is relevant for me. Wow, she's got exactly what I'm looking for. So ask yourself, look at your profile and say, is my, number one, my profile picture, is it clear? Is my face clear? Am I like recognizable? Because when they're fuzzy or if they're a brand, we tend to switch off. But when they're clear and they're confident, they're a good photo, we actually pay more attention. The second thing is, do we know who somebody is? Because when we see a clear name or a clear title, we're actually, again, more drawn to, it's like, must be a human connection thing. Whereas if it's like Jen Wobble 66, we're like, again, it's like an away energy, right? We're not drawn with, it's harder for us to understand who somebody is. So that trust and relevancy starts on your profile. The minute that they land, 1.8 seconds, profile picture, title, is it going to bring all those cogs together for them to say, wow, this is somebody I should follow. She's got exactly what I'm looking for. Your bio, is it clear? Mine's a bit unclear at the moment. I'm changing mine. I had a bit of a test with it and I don't like the test. We've got to keep changing. I'm going to go back to what it was because it was working. Find something that works and sticks with it. Make it clear. And on your first 3 to 6, maybe at a push 9 photos of your grid, is it clear what is in it for them to follow you? So people put a lot of focus on their bio link. Oh, well, should I put my website? Oh, I've got this amazing link tree. You are going to get so few clicks if you don't get all of these things sorted first. So what's more important is not your link tree, not whether your link's too long, not whether you should put your website or a landing page. Forget all of that stuff and focus on those things in the bio, at the top, but also those 3 to 6 pictures that somebody can really get clear on what's in it for them to follow you. So your content should always be about that. Like, it's not about you, it's about them. Where do they get value? How do they get value from this? Is there value in this? Are you posting for them? I did in fact, I think I did this with Anna the other day around and we just talked about it in my group coaching with Naomi and Michelle and Joe. There's 6 steps to making an amazing post. And the first step is always sharing authentically out of your classroom. Hang on a sec, just check the comments. Oh yeah, no, Avril's in. Sharing out of the classroom of your life, because your life is a classroom, being present in those moments and identifying moments of your value, but then you make it about them. So in step number 2, you have that scroll stop. Either your content picture or those, literally you've got one line on Instagram and people are looking more at the picture than they are at the words. So really it's the picture. Is your picture a scroll stopper? And remember, you're building trust and relevancy with your existing followers, but you're looking to tap into new followers as well, new audiences. If you're using hashtags, if you're using engagement strategies like the one I teach, then every single post is an opportunity to tap into a new audience. Is that new audience going to stop the scroll when they see your face? Probably not. Are they going to stop the scroll if something is just not of value to them? Probably not. So you need a scroll stopper, number 2. So whatever you take out of the classroom of your life, how do you make it a scroll stopper for somebody else? It has to be about them. It has to, and this is step number 3, you identify the problem that it solves. But, and this is again, this is worth $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Instagram is desire-led. People are not on Instagram generally hanging around in their problems. They're on there distracting themselves from their problems. They're looking at the people that they see as influence. They're looking at the things that they like. They're looking at the solution side of their life. Yes, they've got a problem. It's sitting there, but they're actually searching for solutions. So how do you turn the problem that you identify your audience has into a way of presenting them the solution to it? I think I'm being delivered a child Saturday here in New Zealand, so Bowie's with me. And we don't, and just 1 second. We don't want to sell too much either in those steps. Come here, darling. Yeah. We don't want to sell too much in those steps because it has to be pure value. And that's the 4th step, is we give that value. We give somebody something, and that's when they're going to save the post, right? They'll save the post because they want to come back to it later, and that counts as engagement. They'll share the post up into their stories because maybe it's a quote that's resonated. So you've got to give some value, some tips. Overselling. Selling posts, you'll see it yourself in your engagement. When you sell, the posts don't do very well, but when you give real value, the posts do really, really well. And then the final step is giving them a reason to engage. And on Instagram, this is really important. It is the saves, it is the shares, it is the comments, it is the double taps, the likes, because that's all feeding into that engagement score that you have, that algorithm score that you have. And the higher your algorithm score, the more Instagram will show your content to people. What Instagram actually does, the way that the algorithm works, is when you post a post, it shows it to a select few people who liked your previous post, and it sees how the post does with them. So if they engage, then the algorithm will send it out to more people. So if you get a post and it's dud on that, the first few people who look at it, they just scroll on, it doesn't stop the scroll, then Instagram won't even share it out. And that's when you see those really low reaches. And this is why you have to go where the energy works as well. So remember I said to you, it's like you'll do something that really works, and then you'll just change direction, you'll change strategy. You've actually got to do the opposite. You've got to keep going where the energy is, because that's the algorithm. That's how the algorithm is working, right? It'll send it back out, the next load of people who loved that, and they'll love it again because it's really helpful to them. And then the algorithm will open it up even more. And that's when you start to see your insights creep. You start to see your reach grow. Instagram starts to see you as an influencer, a social media, mover and shaker. And that's what Instagram wants. Instagram right now is fighting to be the most popular platform. It's trying to take traffic away from TikTok with the reels. It's trying to take traffic away from YouTube with the IGTV. It's paying people for live videos. It wants to be the top. So it's going to help you. The algorithm is going to help you if you actually do what it's looking for you to be, and that's be fully social. Hey, Sarah. Sorry, we've already got quite knee deep in, but there's going to be, there will be a recording for you to watch. So, 1 second. Just 1 second. Baby, you've got to stay in with me because Daddy's going to cricket. He's already gone to cricket. There's nobody there. You stay here with me. Who here finds themselves overthinking their content? So you find yourself wanting to post, coming up with an idea, but actually you get up in your head about it and then you don't end up posting it at all. Is that a problem for everybody? Yeah. I used to do that too. What I want you to start thinking is posted is better than perfect. I want you to start thinking about this. How do I just post it? And when you get up in your head, instead of not posting it, just posting somebody else's quote post, resharing content, resharing somebody else's reel, posting something on Instagram is better than posting nothing. It really is, because really that big indicator of your followers going up. And if your followers are going up and you're getting engagement, then you've got that basis to start making those sales. We're going to talk about how you make those sales in a minute. Posted is better than perfect. Can I get your word that over the next 4 weeks, when there's all this extra 75%, 73% more activity on Instagram being the hub for selling over this Christmas period, that you are going to start posting. Posted over perfect. Do I have your word? Amazing, amazing. And are you going to start looking at your insights to see what's working? Are you going to start bringing that into your everyday? Amazing, perfect. Okay, so number 2, what to post that isn't reels. So really that comes down to those insights. Go back through your last 10 posts and have a look and see, okay, what did get reach? Have a look over your last year's worth of posts and have a look at what's had the most follows, the most likes, the most saves, and start building your content out from where it's actually working. What is actually working for you? Before you start creating all afresh and all new, it's like, okay, I'm going to take what's worked and I'm going to start there. Whatever you post, you want to make sure it's not too branded, because branded is not working on Instagram at the moment. So too much of the same colors, too much of it looking like a business post, it's really not working. What's working is the raw, natural, real life type posts. Yes, quote posts are working, but not branded ones. So you're better off to take your branding off and just have it as a standalone, like, you know, blank background, or use one of those Canva backgrounds, but don't have it branded, and make sure there's a good mix of colors and things on your grid. I have started squeezing in teeny tiny letters my handle underneath the quote, so that if people were to say, where has it come from, they can find that they can trace it back to me if it's an original. I don't want people having my original quotes, you know, but make it small enough that it's not branded. Don't make it too businessy, because there's two things people don't like to be sold to, and we do see this with posts. We do. The minute you try to sell, your reach goes down, your engagement goes down. But also when it's branded, the brain says, I've already seen that, and they won't take another look. So in terms of trying to stop that scroll, the brain's already deciding, because remember, the brain is just a bunch of patterns that are predicting things. Do I need this? Is this taking me towards pleasure or pain? Is this helpful? It's already deciding. The neuroception's seen it before you've landed on it. Oh, I've already seen that post. I'm just going to scroll on. So make sure that they're not too branded, and they're nice and diverse. They're nice and different, and that they're like they can look good as well as like not being branded. Does that make sense? You don't have to brand something to make it look professional. You want it to look professional, but not branded and not businessy. So the next thing around what to post, how can you make your post create a conversation, like a dialogue, instead of a monologue? So how can it be two ways? Because when you're, again, it's like when you're using, and this is how you go on there. At the start, Sarah, we were talking about the difference between consuming content and producing content. Russell Brunson talks about the difference. He's the ClickFunnels guy, and he says consuming content is just reading it and taking it in, whereas producing it is actually getting there and producing it. But I said I take it one level deeper, and it's like, how do I consume it to understand what works about it so I can produce from it, you know? And when you think about how you use social media, what are you looking to do? Are you just looking to scroll, or are you looking to engage? I feel like I'm actually looking to engage. Like, I want to have conversations with people. I want to add value to people. I want to, you know, congratulate people or celebrate people, or, you know, thank people, or, you know, like, it is a conversation. So why are we creating monologues? It just makes no sense. We've got to kind of step out of ourselves and remember what it's there for. It's like, how can I make my posts more conversational? And I would say on Instagram, put a call to action of some description on every single post, because the pace of Instagram is such that you won't get shot down for asking people to DM you, asking for people to visit your bio link. Like, so many people don't even go into the captions on Instagram. They really don't. So you're going to miss a bunch of people. I'm going to talk about stories in a minute, but that's why a lot of our posts we should be sharing up into stories, so that you can actually, you know, get another opportunity for people to see your content. Just let Ivy in. So put those call to actions. Does everybody know what call to actions are and what the examples are of call to actions? Does anybody need a refresh on what call to actions to use? So that's another thing. It's like, get them on these posts, especially now. Think about how valuable you are. Like, that is one thing that we do a lot, is we forget how valuable we are. We forget that when we are in these mentoring situations, when we are working on our personal development, when we are building our businesses, we're having these monumental shifts every single day, you know, and we forget that the average person isn't. They're just knee deep in their normal life, stuck with their normal problems, surrounded by the same people. And like, we're doing things every day that are of huge value to them, but we're not sharing them. One reason for that is that we're going too fast. Our life is too fast paced, and so we're not mindful enough. But number two is we don't realize that we're so far ahead in our journeys, and we've been here for a while, that we forget what it's like to be back there, right? So start sharing, start offering a freebie off every single post. You don't have to make that freebie until somebody puts their hand up for it, and you never know which one is just going to fly, right? So start feeling into your classroom. I call it the classroom. Every single day I'm in a classroom. I'm going through things, and I respond to things differently. Number one, I respond. I'm not reacting anymore. I used to react to life all day long. React from the trauma of my past. Now I have space, I breathe, I respond, and I respond in completely different ways. And I have breakthroughs, and I have learnings, and I have aha moments, and I have little memories pop up, and it's like, you know, little speech bubbles, and I'm like, share that shit. This is the stuff that's going to get you engagement. So call to action, DM me, reach out to me for this freebie. I've got 3 steps in this post. I'll give you the other 4 on DM. Visit the link in my bio, comment below, share this post, save this post, use carousels. Carousels are amazing right now. There's lots of ways that you can use carousel posts. Number one is, instead of long captions, so take your long caption into a carousel, because people don't read long captions, but if you put them across the carousel, then people will scroll across and watch them. Carousels get a second opportunity as well to be viewed. So like I said before, Instagram will share your post. It'll send that post to a bunch of people who usually like your content. It'll see the feedback. Do they like it? Do they not? And then it will decide from that engagement whether it sends it out to more people. With carousels, you get however many opportunities you have of posts within your carousels to do that. So if carousel picture number 1 doesn't float, they'll send number 2 and number 3 and number 4 and number 5. So you can, like, 10 times your opportunity to get engagement. And you might have seen that all people are doing is putting the same quote post in different colors and seeing which one of those does the best. So you can experiment with carousels. Carousels are an amazing way. And the great thing about the carousel is, if you like dig in some real value in that carousel, on the last post of the carousel, you can say, make sure you save this. Save it for later so you can go back to it, because this piece of information that I'm giving you right here is so valuable. You're going to need it. And you might not need it right now, but you're going to need it. And those are all little data points for the algorithm of how engaged people are with you, which is increasing your algorithm score. If you're increasing your algorithm score, you're getting further reach, which means, yes, you're going to get new followers. Do we need new followers? We're going to talk about that now. I don't think so. I think if you've got 100 people, 200 people, 500 people, 1,000 people, 3,000 people, you can still make sales. So let's talk about that now. Where do you make your sales? Does anybody know where you make your sales on Instagram? Yes, your stories. You make them in your stories, because you can actually sell in your stories. And there was a study that was done, and that so there's a way of selling in your stories. So people are always like, I need to get to 10,000 followers, because then I get the swipe up, and then I'll be able to take people through to my website. So number one, a study showed that views on stories went down 50% with the swipe up feature. 50% of views. So everybody's chasing this 10K followers, so they open up the profiteering tools. Although, to be fair, we've got the new way of putting links into our stories now. That's opening up as a feature. But even still, is it the same? Are the views going to go down? The second thing is, the second thing is that once you send, like if you put a link in, if you put that swipe up or you put that link, people use that link, they go somewhere, but you don't necessarily know what they do when they get there. There's no way of tracking it. Whereas if you use a sticker, so if you say to somebody, do you want the link? Yes or no, and they say yes, you then have to start a conversation to give them the link. And then in that conversation, you can follow back up and you can say, did you go to that link? Did you have a look at the offer? And you can find out if they haven't, why not? If they have and they didn't click, then why not? And you can sell to them on the DM. So stories are the place to sell, but just remember, people just don't like being sold to. It's just a thing. So we've got to get around that. And the way that we get around that, again, is to see what works. So being really conscious, not just of our post insights, but of our stories insights. Who checks every day? How many people are exiting their stories? You got to start doing that. So like every day when you look at your stories, go into the insights on the stories. You've got a little bar chart and be like, okay, which of the stories did people just drop and run? Because it's a really indication that that's not a great story. Don't do that again. Which are the stories that people stay on and they scroll through? Like, where are the days where you get really good swipes across, people get engaged? Why would they get engaged? When you take them on a journey with your stories, when you tell a story, when you unbox the thing that you want to sell, when you peel back those layers. So on the surface layer, somebody's got the problem, but they're not quite convinced that they want to solve it with you, right? So how do you peel back those layers of people and bring them on that journey into that box where you've got that offer that you can make? Really think about that. Really think about taking people on a journey with your stories and using stickers, like polls, questions, quizzes, to actually get feedback from them and to start those conversations even before you get to the offer. You can also use those stickers to get the marketing words that you need to sell your offer elsewhere, because you can get people to tell you their problems and describe them in the way that they're having them and to describe the result that they're seeking. Ivy, who just jumped on before, I think we've lost her again. She's got a challenge coming up and we were trying to figure out the name of the challenge, and we just said, well, don't go and ask people, get them to name it for you, put some stickers in your polls. And if people don't engage in your questions, then answer them yourself, right? Because that counts as engagement. So if you ask a question, nobody answers it, brilliant. You're going to go back through and you're going to answer it yourself, and you're going to screenshot the 100% yes of all the people that are interested in what you're sharing. You're going to answer the question and you're going to share the answers, because nobody knows but you, and I won't tell anybody, that you are engaging in your own stories, because that engagement counts. And that engagement creates curiosity. Your stories are the most amazing place to create curiosity, right? So you've got to think about, when do people look at your stories? When they're already engaged with you from the feed. So they've already started following you, they've started consuming some of your content, and they're curious about you. That's when they head up into your stories. They want to know more about you. So what are you going to show them? Who wants to do a quick exercise right now to decide what you're going to show them in your stories? Yeah. Okay, so some of you will have done this because you're clients, but you're going to think of 7 hashtags that sum up your life, sum up every single area of your life, who you are, what you do, what you love, what you stand for. You're not sharing these hashtags. They're just a way of you identifying yourself. So some of my hashtags are hashtag recovered survivor, hashtag mum life, hashtag jungle keeper, hashtag What else do I have? Personal story formula. Hashtag biohacker. You're going to write down 7 to 10 of your own hashtags. And everybody give me a quick sign when you've done that. And you can use these hashtags for your content too, but just remembering that on Instagram, we want to be super niche. You know, we want to pick the hashtag that you want to share the most of, the subject that is, you know, the one that you want to focus on for Instagram. But in the stories, you can show all parts of you. This is people getting to know you. This is people like getting curious about you. So once you have that list of hashtags, you're then going to feel into your day-to-day life. Maybe think about the last 24 hours even. And what would be one activity, one thing that you could share that would represent that hashtag? So hashtag jungle keeper. I chased around a bunch of people for their birth your truth retreat tickets because I'm looking to get the pre-sales sold before November 30th. Because global giving is going to match what I donate. So I'm trying to donate 40K. So, you know, I could share in my stories of like all the messages I'd sent, or I could have something related to the event. Hashtag mum life. I did one yesterday. Bowie copying me. I was waxing my legs and she was rubbing the wax papers together between her hands and then putting the wax strips down on her legs. It just shows who I am and what I do. It's warming people to me. It's making people feel like they know me, even though they don't know me, which makes that conversation way easier when we identify that somebody is a potential sale. So think of an activity. And then number three is that you're going to then think about questions that you can ask, how you can give people great ideas from that activity. So that activity might be me breathing. That's part of my biohacking. I do lots of breath work. A great idea might be sharing one of my breathwork techniques. I just did another one the other day. I started a 22-day breathwork challenge. Do you want to join the challenge? Yes, fabulous. I added like 50 people to my list. So you're looking at where from those activities. So you've got your hashtag activity, and you're going to think about how you can give people great ideas, create curiosity that makes people ask questions, and really build that trust and relevancy with them and start conversations. You can promote your content up in your stories. People don't see all of your content. So making sure you share some of your content, but don't just share the content, make it relevant to somebody. Why should they bother to take the time and go down into your news feed or into your grid and have a look at that piece of content? What is the benefit they're going to get from it? What is in it for them? I'm just going to unplug the typey thing so she doesn't pull us. That's off the video. Be real. Be really real. I saw somebody the other day sharing in their stories about how she could help you manifest this dream life. And, you know, I know this person and I know she hasn't got a dream life. So it's like, you know, like she's actually really struggling. So don't be something that you're not. Be real, be authentic. One of the really good places to think about going live is into your stories, because people will only watch your Instagram lives if they already know they're going to get value from you. So you're really targeting your warm audience in your IG live videos. People will only take the time to show up and watch when they feel like they're going to get something, right? So it takes some time to develop that relevancy with people, that resonance with people, that trust with people. But you can develop that through your stories. So think about your live video subject and think about how you can summarize it down in a minute. And then you can just do a series of little 15-second clips just stream live into your video on your phone and then break it up into 15-second, four 15-second clips and share that, because it's really personal when you're watching somebody's stories and they're talking direct to camera, like I should be, but my camera's over here because my laptop's broken. But when I really talk into your eyes and I look into your eyes, it's like I'm telling that directly to you, right? And it's building that trust, building that relevancy. You can use captions. So if people haven't got their sound on, they can still hear. You can also use questions and stickers as well. Those little live clips are an amazing place to do the questions and polls and things like that, and get those conversations started, because the short answer is that those sales are going to come through your DMs. Bowie, look, I've got the thing down here for you. You want to do some typing? You do some typing. There you go. They're going to come from the DMs, but we've got to start those conversations, and you've got to have like 10 conversations a day. Who would be totally up to commit to having 10 conversations a day, every day, for the next, however, 3 weeks to that 15th of December mark? Yeah? So answering that question that you wrote down, how are you going to create more content, both in your feed and also in your stories, to start those conversations? Who's feeling like they're getting some clarity over the answer to that question? Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Amazing. So the fourth part of the training is how you can do that and save time, because it's the holidays. The sun is out here in New Zealand. Most of you said that you were in tomorrow. You're in Saturday, which means you're in this end of the hemisphere, which means you're coming into summer. But wherever you are in the world, we don't want to be spending more time on Instagram at this time of the year, right? We want to be spending less time. So the last bit of training is how you save time. And the number one way is getting some help. So I want you to think about who can you engage to help you. There is websites like Fiverr. There are Philippine social media VAs that charge like $5 an hour. There's ManyChat that can automate some of your DMs. Yes, you pay for it, but you can automate some of that conversation. That's the first way. And again, we're going back to what I said at the start. You are treating Instagram, please, like a business. It's a business. It's going to make you money, which means you've got to invest some money into it, which means you can invest some money into it. So just open that conversation a little bit. Can I get some help on this? Do I really want to be pouring through? You know, if you do a reel and it gets 50, even 50 likes, do you want to have to pour through 50 people and decide who you're going to start conversations with? Or do you want to pay a Filipino $5, which will change her life, to do that for you? And they're amazing. There's websites where you can hire these people, and that money makes a real difference to them. And they're really good at what they do. And you can give them scripts to follow. Like I say, ManyChat, you just integrate the application, and it automates, you know, some of that, like it'll pick up questions and it'll answer the questions. It'll, you know, send the welcome message out. So number one, you save time by looking at your business and saying, do I actually want to do this? Do I have to do this? And does it make sense for me to hire this out? Because where does that space open up the magic in your business? Where does it raise your frequency? Because you start to invest your time. And we're going to talk about this next week. Are all of you signed up to Aligned 2022? Aligned 2022 is my big end of year event, and I'm doing it completely free for you. And it's all about energy. It is all about the quantum approach to your business and getting in full alignment with your soul goal, doing the stuff that lights you up and having that light be the thing that attracts your clients. I've had weeks where I haven't messaged anybody on Instagram, and I've made sales because they've messaged me, just because of the energy that I've been in. You know, that energy of attraction in my business. It's huge. It's a massive part. A massive part. So if you're not signed up to Align 2022, get signed up right now, because it's going to be the most incredible event. But going back to saving time, ask that question. Can I get some help on this? Even if I just get help for the next 4 weeks, because I'm so committed to making my 4 sales. How much money would your 3 to 4 sales make you? Anna, how much money would your 3 to 4 sales make you?
Sorry. Those 3 to 4 sales, they would, oh God, we'd be talking what? At least 12,000 or more.
Can you afford to invest like $100?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, totally. So I want you to all to ask that question. How do you look at this like a business? How do you really commit to making these sales? And that is, I'm going to post content. I'm going to post as much content as possible, 3 to 4 posts. Now, 2 of those posts can be reshares. They can be reposts from other people, other people's quote posts, other people's carousels, which you have to screenshot every single one and put them in as your own carousel, which is a pain. You can't reshare carousels. I haven't found a way yet. You can reshare other people's reels. Only 1 to 2 of those posts every day needs to be your own innovative content. Now, because you guys have got small followings, that means that if you've got content that did well from a month to 3 months ago, you can actually make one of those posts something that you shared 1 to 3 months ago. Just post it again, make it relevant to the classroom of today. So all of a sudden, it's getting real easy to increase the amount of content. And then those conversations are coming from the engagement in the content. Whoever's engaging, you're starting conversations. You're not being picky. You're messaging everybody. Who messages everybody who likes their posts? Well, you should. Because how do you qualify them or unqualify them as client? It's only through the conversation. I understand that people don't have open profiles and you can't message everybody, but everybody who you can message, you should be making a connection with. Hey, how are you going? Thanks so much for liking my post. I'm really curious to know what resonated with you. I can see you're a coach. I love talking to like-minded people. I'd love to get on a connection call. How many times a week, how many times a day are you asking people for connection calls? Not sales calls, just connection calls. The universe rewards action. You start putting yourself out there as serious, she'll start rewarding you. Again, aligned 2022, we're going to be digging into that deep. If you start having connection calls with people, you don't know what starts to work in terms of collaborations, possible interviews, them resharing your content in stories, possibilities to go and speak to their groups. Anything can come out of a connection call. I want you messaging every single person who you can. And that's why 10 messages at least a day, it's super easy. You're not short on people. And if you start to have these conversations, you're going to start to make these sales. You're going to start to get people on these phone calls. Then we start getting into why do you not send these DMs? Why do you not do this already? And it's how you feel, right? It's how you feel about yourself. It's what you're assuming of the other person. You're assuming they've got no money. You're assuming they're not a fit. You're worrying whether you've got enough value. You don't know what to say. You're doubting yourself. You're doubting your product. That's a whole nother ball game. But actually, that ball game is the ball game that is more likely to make you money than this. Again, we're going to be digging into that in Align 2022 deep. I'm going to get you through all of those limits next week, all of them. So if you're not signed up, I'm going to put the link before we jump off into the comments, and I want you to sign up for Align 2022. It's free. It's going to be amazing. So we talked about reshares. So we've already said posted is better than perfect. Post doesn't have to be perfect. Post. Reshare when you're sat there and you're like, I don't know what to share. Just share somebody of something else, something of somebody else's. Just make sure you credit them. Where's the best place to spend your money when you don't have many followers? Fiverr is great. Fiverr.com. Also, you'll probably, if you search hashtag social media expert, hashtag, you're gonna come across some of these Filipino VAs. I mean, they are lovely. I almost started working with one. I did work with one for a little while, but it was just too many people in my team at the time for what I could deal with. But I'm going to go back to using her. I'm currently using somebody in the UK. She does a lot of my engagement and a lot of my messages. but really in the RO, you know, from what I make from Instagram, it's just a drop in the ocean. It's totally worth it. And I wish I had made that decision earlier. And the only reason I didn't was because I wasn't treating Instagram like a business. I saw it as money going out and I wasn't fully confident that it was going to come back. So I want to gift you that confidence and say it will come back. It will come back. And that is you telling the universe, I'm freaking ready for this to start coming back. I am ready for this growth. I am ready for this evolution of my business. So to summarize, before we jump into hot seats, you're going to pick a subject and you're going to stick to it. You're going to get that niche down. And if any of you don't have an engagement strategy, then set up a call with me. I do a free call to look at your engagement strategy, because whatever your niche is, you should be engaging in the content that is also around that niche, because that's going to tell the Instagram algorithm what to show you more of. It means you're going to be in front of your clients because they're looking at that niche through other people's content. And you're going to start consuming in a way that you can produce. You're going to sit and you're going to watch those reels. You're going to look at that content. Every second that you're going to spend on Instagram is going to be on purpose. It is going to be on purpose. You are doing it because you're trying to figure out what works. And you're going to use your Instagram insights to see what works for you. And you're going to follow that energy. And you're going to start posting more content. And you're going to start engaging with people who are engaging with you and starting those conversations. I would love to jump onto the challenge winners hot seats, and these are going to be really helpful to people, to everybody, because whatever questions they have, you're going to have one question. Can everybody just raise their hand? I think I've got all of you on one screen. Who's a winner? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So we'll do 10 minutes each. And yeah, however many questions you can fit in there. And the person who I think is at the top is Tasha.
So we're just asking as many questions, is that right?
Yep, and I will coach you. I will coach you.
Okay.
I will help you. Hit
me.
So
new, like hearing things like, well, I figured out carousel and that. But it's like, first question, how do hashtags work as far as when you're deciding to pick them? I've heard you pick some that have smaller numbers, and then you pick some that have larger numbers.
Not anymore. So the number now is irrelevant. They're giving every single hashtag the same reach.
Okay.
So the best way to identify hashtags is to think, what would my audience be following and searching for?
Okay. How do you share on Instagram? Like, there isn't really, when you look at what comes up, I'm not seeing a place where you can then share on. Do you have to save it?
You need to use an app. So there's apps. There's Reposter. That's one app. I don't like Reposter. I use Preview. I pay for Preview because you can schedule posts, which is not good for your algorithm score. But what I tend to do is it gives me a reminder. So I'll schedule 4 posts and then it gives me a little buzz and I'm like, oh, I need to post. Because you know what it's like with children. Your day just gets swept away and it's like, oh God, it's 4 o'clock and I've not done anything. So like it gives me, my meditation's the same. Everything's on an alarm on my phone, basically. I'm like a robot to my business. Oh, it's time to meditate. Oh, it's time to post on Instagram. And that's where you can repost.
Okay.
So it asks you to copy the link out of the post that you want to share. And then it basically posts it for you and you can add your caption.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you merge, like at the moment, I've got kind of my personal one and I've also got more of a business one, and they're kind of, similar numbers. I want to get rid of one of them.
Which one, you say there's similar follower numbers?
Yeah, I mean, I've literally just started. So when I went on, I've got all the people like from my Facebook thing and all the people that know me who have jumped on and are following me. And then I created the next one, which was, so I've got Tasha Bray and I've got Tasha Bray Journeys. And I want to do the Tasha Bray Journeys completely. Like, I just want to drop away the other one.
I would just drop away the other one then.
Okay. And not worry about, I mean, I can say, look, should I just put a post up that say, if you're not following me on Tasha Bray Journeys?
And you can even leave the other one up and just not post to it, but in the bio of the old one, just make it really clear this is an old account. If you want my new, updated, valuable content, pop into
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's just too much. Like, I've really split stuff out, like both for Facebook and Insta, and I just don't want to do that anymore. I want to like
So
one
make
Insta,
sure that
one
Tasha Bray
Facebook.
Journeys is a creator account. You all have to be on creator accounts because you're going to get the best features and the best insights. So make sure it's a creator account.
Is that, so that is different from personal?
Yeah,
Is that right?
you don't want a
So-
personal one. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just have to go into your dashboard, into your settings, and swap it over.
Okay. Do you delete the ones that are not the duds, the ones that aren't working? Do you get rid of them?
The posts or the people?
The posts.
No, it's just a waste of time. I mean, you can, but you got to think about your time. Like, the algorithm is such that if it's shit, it won't get seen. So you don't worry about it. It's just like, like that. And that's, you've got to, how many people, there are some people, like I have had a few stalkers and they have gone back to like 1992 and been like, oh my gosh, you were horrendous in 1992, which I was, by the way, or 2000, whatever. But most people just look at those first 3 to 6 posts.
Okay, so when they're looking over your stuff, rather than, and you said, oh, people will come on and then they'll drop off, and they won't go, oh, that was crap, and she's,
It's unlikely. It's more likely that the post that you share today, if that's not on point, they'll unfollow you, because that is what Instagram is so fast paced. It is complete. It's like Kmart. It's like the Kmart of social media. It's like, I'm going to buy these leggings and wear them once and then just chuck them away. Because, it's like, there's so much out there that I can get. There's so many people that I can follow. Like, people are redefined. They want their feed filled. Remember, desire led. What are they seeking, Tasha? What are they seeking? And how do you show up for them with that solution? How do you make your content more valuable than the next person's? How do you become a resource to them? So then when they start asking questions, they're like, oh, I'm going to jump on her page. I'm going to see what she's shared.
Okay. And what are stickers? You say putting in stickers.
Stickers are in your, so when you go into your stories, there's a little square, like up the right of your stories, there's a little square emoji, and you click on there and it gives you stickers to stick on your story, and the stickers get people engaging with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have a try of that.
Yeah.
That was all kind of I had just as we were going. I was a bit distracted.
So what is your intention? What is your intention? What are you going to change? What are you going to do? How are you going to get these 4?
Oh, I guess it's really I've got heaps here that I can run with. So going more broad on Insta, not being so, like, using my story and definitely putting that in the caption or whatever, but yeah, definitely going a bit more broad. I just need people. I need that engagement. I need to be.
You need to go the other way. You need to go niche. Don't go broad. Go niche.
Oh, definitely. No, I know. But you'd said around not so personal to get them to start sharing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, I get you. Yeah.
So it's not sticking with my niche and sticking with the problems, but not being so personal with it.
Yeah. So I'm going to offer something at the end, and I think you should say yes to it, because I think we can make sure you get that right. Because I think that has the possibility to go wrong. But if you say I can work it with you, basically, because I think you could be on something or you might be completely off. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Avril.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, I don't have a question. I have lots of questions, but they're not Instagram related. But I can think of lots of stuff. I just basically swap my stuff over, like transfer my stuff over from Facebook to Instagram. So that's what I do at
So
this
what we
stage.
need to do is we need to take a brilliant. I love repurposing. Hi, darling. I was just checking on you. Yes. We do want to repurpose across, because I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram now. And if I was putting different content out, it would just be insane. It's want to be the one theme, but then we tailor it to how it fits on each site.
Okay.
So
Okay.
just and honestly, Avril, like with your Instagram stuff, you either hit it or you miss it. On Facebook, you generally hit it. You do really well. You've really nailed like the personal story formula. You use it so well. And I know we picked you up on when it was getting a bit samey.
Yeah.
You started rotating again, and I see it. I see you. It's amazing. Instagram, it's like you need to take the best bits that fit Instagram and post those there. And you need to start sharing other people's content more.
Okay. So
Yeah.
sharing other people's content on my my page, like my page,
On,
not my stories.
on
Yeah.
Instagram, yeah. So what you would do
Okay.
is you would take the theme of the Facebook post.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Can everybody see the screen? Oh, that's not going to work. I've just realized I unplugged the thingy because Bowie's got it. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can do this without using a keyboard. Let's see if we can find Avril.
Oh, great.
Just using a mouse. I will be in the chat. This is quite funny. Where's Avril? Let me find you. No, I think I archived your messages, friends. It's all right.
Oh.
All friends. Avril, there she is. Yes, Bowie. There you go. Right. So what you would do. So this post here, when you numb the darkness, you numb the light.
Mm-hmm.
All you would do is put that in a quote post.
Okay.
And you would take a short summary of your message from here and have a CTA on Instagram.
Okay.
Because that's a little bit too, like, that's just a little bit, it's just a little bit too, do you know how, like when you look at Instagram, that probably wouldn't show up in the Explore tab. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The types of posts that show up in the Explore tab are, oh gosh, this is ridiculous. Why did I unplug the laptop? I've got Instagram up. I haven't got Instagram up, but you know the types of posts that show up on Instagram, right? And so they're the block background quote posts. So have a go at that. Have a go at that today. Share a black, like find the quote and Google on a blank background. Take the most powerful message piece. Remember what's in it for them. What are you trying to solve? What are you trying to show? How are you trying to help them? What value could you give? 3 steps, 3 tips, and then give it a reason for them to engage, like, share, save, comment, and then swing back around and start conversations with whoever engages.
Yeah, that's one that I definitely don't do really. And because I find a lot of my engagement is like actual friends or other coaches and stuff.
Because you're not tapping other audience, because you're not using the engagement strategy. And you've got the engagement strategy because you've got my course. So you've got to use that Instagram cheat. And you've got to do that engagement strategy, and you've got to use hashtags because that's going to tap you into new audiences. So again, ask yourself, what are your clients searching for in hashtags? And just use, at the moment, they're saying 3 to 5 hashtags, which I find really odd.
And when you do 3 to 5, do you put like, you know, a coach at the end of it? You know, do I put like soul coach or whatever? Because
would people be searching for soul coach? Would they be following posts that have soul coach?
No, not my clients.
There you go. No, then.
No. Because no.
So Instagram have said they've confirmed that the best place to put your captions, you put your hashtags, is actually in the caption.
Okay.
But I'm still putting mine in the comments. I don't know if that's just me being defiant or just
Yeah.
like forgetting. But yeah, they apparently I've got so my Instagram mentors, they speak to Instagram like on the weekly basis.
Okay.
So they've confirmed that that's where they should be.
Okay, because I want to I really need to get bang for my buck on Instagram, and I mean that with time. I need it.
Totally,
I
I
mean,
get it, yeah.
especially especially with homeschooling and stuff. I need to make every post a winner, if not to just prove my husband wrong that I can homeschool and still maintain a business at the same time.
Everything you say is, so if there's any doubt in your mind that you can't, then you won't. You've got to really see the vision of this. You've got to feel into what do I want this to look like? What does homeschooling, Keelan, and being on my phone in my business look like? Because your brain will automate your action from that place. Remember, we're just puppets to our subconscious mind. So it's all about what you choose and what you vision for yourself and how you see it and what you focus on and what you tell your brain is important.
Yeah.
You've 100% got this, and you get to create it. You get to do it your way.
Yeah. Well, kind of. No, I do. I know. It's just kind of happened a lot quicker than I thought.
I know, and I fully feel the noose around your neck. I feel it. I do.
Yeah.
But I want you to know that it's that's what will that noose, letting it squeeze you is what will create the reality you don't want. So it's like be strong, be focused, be delusional, Avril. Be delusional. This is the way of the future, right?
Yeah.
This is, and just imagine the other mum who's struggling, who's making similar decisions as you right now, who feels squeezed around the neck. She's going to look at you and she's going to say, how the fuck is she doing it? I want to know how she's doing it. And she's going to follow you and she's going to see value in you. And she's going to want to go deeper with you because you've got solutions that she needs, right? So you've got those 4 weeks, you've got that 3-4 client goal, and you're going to absolutely make it happen. And you can do it by not taking Christmas time either. It's absolutely fine to book people in for middle of January and just get them to pay the deposit and take that time over Christmas to nurture yourself and get prepared and whatever else you need to do.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, Michelle, well, you're a winner too, eh?
Yeah. You're answering some of my questions as we're going along there, because I was curious about the number of hashtags, because I know we went from 30 to like 8 to 15. I'm like, what? Go
on Instagram. Yeah.
And then I was just checking Brock's feed, Brock Johnson's feed. I'm like, I can't even see hashtag. I've opened up about 6 of his posts. But Shalene, Shalene, I thought, oh yeah, hers are in the caption.
How many is Shalene using right now?
There wasn't that many there. Let me just do a count. She's got like the dots. You got to scroll down to find them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So she's doing the 8 to 15. Interesting.
So again, it's insights. If posts, like if you're posting 8 to 10 hashtags and it's working, stay there. Like go with what's working on your content.
Yeah, I could do you recommend doing a test, like posting the same kind of thing, just doing hashtags differently and less and things like that?
Make sure you give it do it a week and then a week.
Yeah, 1 week between testing. Okay. One thing you talked about not branding, and I know like I've got some stuff that's really branded but some not. I've been doing these posts lately where I use like a different background. I'll just find an image that kind of is giving that impact that I want it to, and I have been putting my name. It's fairly small but not tiny. I guess what I'll try doing is again reposting same content but just reducing it really small. And I've usually got a
Yeah.
heading, whether it's quantum quotes or it's a fact, it's this really powerful thing I want to get across. I just put fact at the top. Yeah, I'm kind of answering my own question. I'll go and test.
Yeah. Your content reminds me of like Third Eye Thoughts. So have a look at how they do it, because they're kind of branded but not branded. He's built an empire with that. He's built an absolute empire, and I believe that you can as well, because the things that you share are so, like, they're such good quotes and insights. And the way that you attach them now, like the way that now, and you're doing this super well on Facebook as well, is like bringing people into your classroom and then throwing it back at them, getting them to, like, you're asking if the only reason you're not getting more engagement is because, whoops, are you okay? You okay? Oh, that's cold water right in my lap. You okay? The only reason you're not getting more engagement is because you haven't got the reach yet. But keep doing what you're doing with the engagement strategy, and it will get the reach. I promise you.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And the only other question that kind of popped in, and I've checked my insights a few times now. Time of the day, I'm kind of like, there's nothing that stands out in my.
I was going to say the answer is between 6 and 6.
Yeah, that's okay. That's good confirmation then, because that's what I thought. I'm like, there is no difference in day, no difference in time. Okay.
I have noticed with my content that it floats better 6 to 9 a.m. And I think that's just because I have such a global audience, and that's sort of morning time for most people.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I have a huge UK following, but I do have a lot of like Asia Pacific, New Zealand, Australia, and America. Like, I have a huge American audience.
What are you up to?
But again, it's insights. Look at your insights. If anything shows up as a good time, but remember, now you're posting 4 times a day, so it's pretty much every time you pee.
Yeah, I try.
We only get to pee 4 times a day with our children. That's the only time we get to go to the toilet.
Yeah, for me, I just found that only lasted for a couple of days, posting 4 times a day. I was like, I can't keep up with that.
So what you're going to do, and everybody else on this call, is you're going to do that sit down. You're going to say, right, it's the weekend. I'm going to spend an hour and I'm going to save a bunch of posts.
I've got thousands on my phone. Don't worry.
That's right. So you're only posting 1 creative post a day, and the other 3 are just going to be sharing from your saves.
Okay.
And I promise you, see the difference. And you're gonna start engaging more. You're gonna start those conversations. So before we jump off, the offer is, I would love to offer you guys a DM script and a profile review. So I'll go over everything to do with that 1.8 seconds on your profile, and I'll give you an outreach script for these engagement conversations, and I'm going to do it at an offer of $59 US. So if anybody would like to take me up on that offer, which is from this workshop only, then put your hand up now and I'll flick you the link. And I'm also going to pop into if you actually put the raised hand things on, and then I'll take a screenshot. And then I'm going to put the Aligned 2022 link in for you as well, because that is going to be an absolutely incredible event next week, where we're going to bust through some of these limits for good. Hang on a sec. Just get the Zoom link to sign up. So Aligned 2022, it's completely free. Have that sitting there waiting. It's my disorganization skills. What was it again? So Aligned, is that Aligned 2022? So Aligned 2022, it's going to be about a 3-hour event, and it is all about aligning your energy to the success that you want. So we all have limits. We all have limiting beliefs. We all have limiting paradigms, and they sit within us energetically. And it is like we're calling out into the universe what we don't want. So if you truly want to create success in 2022, that's where you got to start. You've got to start in your energy, because you can attract whatever you want to you. And I'm going to show you exactly how. I'm going to be taking you through some powerful processes that only my quantum coaches and my clients get to go through. We're going to be making magic happen. I'm going to be giving you some insight into what you should be focusing on in as well in the new year, but even before the new year. So this is about getting ahead of the game for 2022. You've got big goals. Who's got big goals for 2022? Yeah. Who wants to make things happen that haven't happened yet, and you are so bloody ready for them? You're so ready to make them happen. You're so ready to start living your truth. The thing about living your truth, you have to birth that shit first. You have to connect with it. You have to connect energetically with it. Oh, thank you. Bowie's bringing the older tarot cards over. So that is what we're going to be doing in that event. You're going to come out of that event and you're going to know exactly what you have to do to have the best year next year, to hit those goals once and for all. And not just to hit the small mind goals, hit the big goals that have been sitting there in the background that you've been saying, that's kind of nice. Not quite ready to go there yet. I've got to wait for this happen before I do this over here. It's not the right time. There is never a right time. There's only now. We're going to make it happen. So Aligned 2022 is going to be amazing, completely free. It's my last event of the year, and I would love you to be there. I am capping numbers. I am advertising it obviously outside of here. So jump on and register if you want to come along. And with the IG profile review, like I say, it's $59, absolutely steal for me to actually give you some solid feedback. Okay, let me look at your content. Let me tell you from what I know, what you can change, what you can improve, what can be different in your bio, if anything, and I'll give you that script as well, so that straight away you can start reaching out. I'm booking calls every single day. You can too. There's no difference. So if you want that, last chance to put your hand up and I will send you the link for that and you'll get that straight away. Otherwise, Tasha says I'm away on that day. Is there a recording? Yes, there will be a recording, definitely. Amazing. Okay, perfect. I will let you guys all go, and I wish you a beautiful weekend, and I hope that today has been super powerful, and keep me in touch with what happens over the next 3 or so weeks. And I will look forward to seeing your wins and you letting me know that, yes, I got those 3 to 4 clients. It happened, and Instagram is amazing. And thanks for showing up for yourselves today.
Thank you, Claire.
Bye-bye.